Well, they're not done yet. And when I say that, I'm talking about Canadian Pacific and its decision to mount yet another bid to acquire Kansas City Southern. Of course, Kansas City Southern already is in a deal to be acquired by Canadian National for a price that still exceeds that being offered right now by Canadian Pacific, which came with a $300 bid this morning, 2.884 of its shares plus $90 in cash. It will fund that through both cash on hand and some new debt, almost $10 billion worth. And most importantly, it has already received approval, of course. This is why they would say their bid is superior to that of a Canadian National, because they've actually received approval from the STB, the Surface Transportation Board, to use a voting trust, essentially buy all the shares and take on all the risk of regulatory approval for the deal itself, so shareholders don't have to take on that risk. And there's a line from their press release that kind of explains why now, because it's a worthwhile question to ask. Remember, they had competed for this asset. They had a deal at $275. They got topped by Canadian National. They decided not to come back. Their CEO said this morning they're not going to actually engage in a bidding war, although it's unclear what this is if this isn't a bidding war. But what they're banking on is the following. They think now's the right time to re-engage because the regulatory uncertainty of the proposed CN merger has placed Kansas City Southern stockholders in the unfortunate position of having to vote on the merger with CN, and as a consequence of approving such proposal, eliminate their ability to consider superior offers, all the while not having any level of certainty with respect to whether they're going to actually get the approval for a voting trust from the STB. That vote is scheduled for the 19th, Morgan, of this month, so about a week or so away. We may hear something from the STB between now and then. There's simply, in talking to any number of people around this transaction, there's a lot of mystery still as to when they're going to actually hear. And that's going to be a key. We might not even get a clear yes or no. It might be something like, well, if you do this, we will say yes to a voting trust. And we're going to need to know what the this is and whether it really is something that CN could actually do. But here's where we sit. And, of course, the prospect is that they could potentially move off the shareholder vote, as CP would like them to do, it would seem, and as to why they timed their current bid at this particular moment.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.